The demand for energy across the globe has seen a significant increase over the past year in response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. European countries are struggling to find a reliable source of energy, leaving many without power and causing widespread blackouts that have plunged nations into economic turmoil, leaving many governments desperately scrambling for a quick solution. Even countries like the United States are being impacted by this global crisis. This has caused the price paid by households for electricity, natural gas, motor fuels, and utility services to increase by 29% from the previous year. We cannot overlook that the US is the wealthiest nation in the world, and if the United States is being impacted by this global crisis, smaller countries like Moldova are being devastated. Last year, Moldova relied upon 80% of its electricity consumption from Transnistria, while 20% of the electricity was produced in Moldova itself. Since the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the overall share of electricity supplies from Transnistria has dropped to 56%. In May of 2022, Gazprom threatened to stop gas supplies to Moldova. Gazprom claims that Moldovan gas operator owes approximately $700,000. Then in August, Moldova Gas placed an order to suspend the gas deliveries of more than 2,000 non-household gas consumers over unpaid debts from previous supplies, with 2002 non-household customers owing a total of 75 million leu or $45 million. This caused Moldova Gas to issue a statement in order to ensure continuous operations of the country's gas system and to not allow an accumulation of debt. Moldova Gas orders the disconnection of the gas installations of the debtor consumers. Moldova Gas has already decided in early August to cut energy supplies to over 708 household users due to unpaid balances. Their debts are totaling 4.1 million leu, which is equivalent to $843,000. One of the main factors in the increase in consumers' inability to pay unpaid debts is the last 6 months gas prices for households have risen from 4.5 Moldovan leu to over 15 leu, which is nearly 250%. Or it's equivalent to $3.08 in US dollars. To make matters even worse in Moldova, the prices of petrol, diesel, and LPG have also risen, which have in turn affected costs of food and other goods and services. In addition, another underlying factor aiding in the shortages and increase in spending by both the citizens and the government of Moldova is the influx of Ukrainian refugees into the country that are fleeing the Russian invasion. As of July 2022, over 538,000 Ukrainian refugees have crossed the border into Moldova. This has caused a major increase in energy, food consumption, and spending by many of the Moldovan citizens who are now taking in refugees and offering them accommodations. The Moldovan government has implemented a cash assistance program that is providing additional aids to the refugees by supplying around 2,000 leu or $411 per month to each refugee that is taken in by one of its citizens. To help with the efforts, the European Commission has allocated around 1.69 billion leus or $349 million for humanitarian aid. But the average Moldovan citizen is already struggling to make ends meet. An average monthly salary in Moldova is around 9,561 MDL or $497, and the average cost of living is 8,317 MDL or $431. This is not to include rent. To add to the deteriorating economic situation in Moldova, due to the threats of a Russian invasion, Moldova's parliament declared a state of emergency on July 28th, continuing until October 8th. The Prime Minister, Natalia Gavrilita, stated that the risk for Moldova due to the war in Ukraine remains high. The government needs additional powers. I think sometimes we can be so self-absorbed in our own lives and conflicts that we often overlook the people who are truly in need. I live in the US, and there's no doubt that we have our own issues to worry about just trying to make ends meet. But in comparison, we have no reason to complain. We can easily ignore situations like Moldova, but that is only feeding into the very reason why we are in this global crisis in the first place. It's greed, money, and power that provoke such responses, and the only way to overcome these issues is to start with yourself. Instead, you should show love and compassion and empathy. We need to look outwards instead of inwards. It's about putting others' interests above your own. And all it takes is one person to start the change, and that person is you. If you would like to help Moldova in supporting Ukrainian refugees, there will be a link down below in the description to a place where you can donate. All donations will go directly to the Moldovan and Ukrainian people. Again, thanks for watching. As always, I hope that you have a great rest of your day.